Is good afternoon, good afternoon to my dear students, and also welcome to electronics online classes. Look here in the previous class, we are discussing about the so important topic that is about studied about the LC oscillators. Also completed about the LC oscillators. And today we'll start another one type of oscillator, that is nothing but RC oscillators. And today we are going for the lecture number 4. We are going for the lecture number 4. And we are going for the RC oscillator. We are going for the RC oscillator. And as usual, in the every class you are going for the, you can recall, you can refresh your knowledge what you have studied in the last class. I just said already, in the last class you are studied about the LC oscillators. And I said in the beginning, depending upon the feedback network, you have done the type of oscillators. One is RC oscillator, and another one is LC oscillator, and last one is about crystal oscillators. It means in the feedback path, if you are using L and C, if you are using inductor and capacitor in the feedback path, that is nothing but LC oscillator. If you are in the feedback path, if you are using R and C components, that type of oscillator nothing but RC oscillator. It means in the feedback path, if you are using L and C components, that type of oscillator nothing but LC oscillator. Already was studied in the last class, and especially the LC oscillator they use for the high frequency generation. Whenever you want high frequency generation, we are using the LC oscillators. And yesterday we discussed already. Once again in LC oscillator, you have done the two types. That is called Hartley oscillator, and next one is called Colpitts oscillator. Hartley oscillator and Colpitts oscillator. The difference about yesterday's class, in Hartley oscillator, it is called inductively coupled. It means in the feedback path we are using two inductors, but in your Colpitts oscillator, in the feedback path you are using two capacitors, remaining as same. In your Hartley oscillator you are using a C amplifier, in Colpitts oscillator also you are using a C amplifier. In Hartley oscillator you are using a C amplifier, and also in your Colpitts oscillator also you are using a C amplifier. Difference is about in Hartley oscillator we are using the two inductors and a capacitor, but in Colpitts oscillator two capacitor and a inductor. Because as you know already, the tank circuit or your if the capacitor and inductor are in the parallel, that is nothing but tank circuit. And as usual in your oscillator we have to verify the Bar-Poisson criteria. That is as usual, the 180 degree phase given by tank circuit, another 180 phase shift is given by your C amplifier, and total you are having the 360 degree phase shift or 0 degree shift. That is nothing but positive feedback. It means in every oscillator we have to verify the two conditions. One is we want positive feedback, another one we want, if you want sustained oscillation, we want A beta equal to 1. And the positive feedback is given by your feedback network or your tank circuit will give 180 degree phase shift, another 180 is given by your amplifier, and total you are having the 360 degree phase shift. That is nothing but your 0 degree, that is nothing but positive feedback. And if you want sustained oscillation, we want the A beta equal to 1. That is while selecting while taking proper value as L and C, we will get the A beta equal to 1. That much was studied in the last class. And as I said already, whenever you want high frequency generation, we are using about LC oscillator, and also they are very, as I said, they are very cheap, they are not expensive, and also they what are advantage of AC oscillator? One thing, you can generate high frequency signal and they are not so cost, they are not expensive. And second one, what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages is only we can generate the low frequency signal. We can generate only the low frequency signal because in the it is not possible to generate the low frequency signal. Why? Because in the low frequency the inductor and capacitor size is very more. The size of the inductor and size of the capacitor very more. That is why it is not possible to generate the low frequency signal. This is the advantage and disadvantages of your AC oscillator. And finally I said about applications. Application nothing but in the radio transmitter and receiver we are using the AC oscillator. In the radio and TV transmitter as well as receiver we are using about the AC oscillator. As I said, in communication we want high frequency signal, that's why using about the LC oscillator. This is about in the last class, and today going for the another one type of oscillator, that is nothing but RC oscillator. And here it is used for the low frequency generation. It is used for the low frequency. It is also called as to generate the audio frequency signal. It is also called as low frequency or it is also called as audio frequency. It is called audio frequency generation. It means in your LC oscillator it is used for high frequency signal, but RC oscillator is used for low frequency or audio frequency generation, or to generate the low frequency signal, or to generate the audio frequency signal we are using about the RC oscillator. And as I said, in RC oscillator, but in the feedback part we are using R and C combination. In the feedback part we are using an R and C combination. How we are in LC oscillator, in the feedback part we are using L and C. In the same way in your RC oscillator, why it is for RC oscillator? Because in the feedback part we are using R and C components. That's what is called RC oscillator, and it will generate the low frequency signal. It will generate the low frequency signals, and as I said, it is very cheap because you are using the capacitor and resistor and you are not using the inductors, and also it is very simple to change your frequency. It is very simple circuit, and it is also a very cheap circuit, and these are the advantage of your RC oscillator. And here the important thing is that in RC oscillator, once again you enter the types. In RC oscillator you have done once again the types. One is called the phase shift oscillator. One is called phase shift oscillator. And another is called Wien bridge oscillator. Wien bridge oscillator. You done once again types of RC oscillator. One is called phase shift oscillator, and one is called the Wien bridge oscillator. These are the two types of RC oscillators. How you have studied in your LC oscillator, you have done two types, Hartley oscillator and Colpite oscillator. In the same way, in your RC oscillator, you have done the two types of RC oscillator. One is called phase shift oscillator, another is called the Wien bridge oscillator. These are the two types of RC oscillator. They will generate the low frequency signal. They will generate the low frequency signal, and especially as I said, what are the applications of your RC oscillator? One, I said it is used for in commercially to generate the audio frequency signal. It is used for the commercial to generate the audio frequency signals, and also it is used for the to generate the low frequency signal. And go for one by one. First you go for the phase shift oscillator, then you go for the weak pitch oscillator. Another one difference in your LC oscillator, you are using an amplifier, especially you are in C amplifier. But in your phase shift oscillator and weak pitch oscillator, you are using the op amp. You are using the, because we want one oscillator contains an amplifying section and the feedback section. And here in the LC oscillator, you are using a C amplifier. But here in your phase shift oscillator and in the oscillator, you are using an op amp is used as amplifier. You are using an operational amplifier. There you are using C amplifier. In LC oscillator, you are using the C amplifier. But in RC oscillator, you are using the operational amplifier. And why you are using operational amplifier for RC oscillator? Because as we know already, the op amp will generate or it will amplify AC as well as DC signals. But here we are amplifying the low signals. Because of your amplify low signals, you are using about the op amp. And also another one reason, in op amp will get both the feedback. You can use as an inverting amplifier, also you can use a non-inverting amplifier, or you can use it as a your negative feedback. It is also used for the positive feedback. That's why we prefer the op amp. And also in op amp we can easily change the gain. While changing RF and RI, you can change the gain. Easily you can change the gain. Or having the gain can be easily changed by changing your RF and RI. These are the advantages of why you are using op amp in place of your C amplifier. Now we will go for, first you go for the phase shift oscillator, then you go for the weak pitch oscillator. First you go for the phase shift oscillator, then you go for the weak pitch oscillator. And especially before going for the phase shift oscillator, first we know about the how we get the phase shift. How we get the phase shift. Actually, in your by using your passive components, especially if you are using the capacitor and resistors in series, they will give the phase shift. Because as I already studied, first you go for the phase shift. How we get the phase shift. And look here, you are using a capacitor and you are using a resistor. And here we are measuring the output C and R. Here you can give the input voltage, variable input voltage. Or you are applying the AC signal here. You are applying an AC signal. Look here, if you are C and R are in series, and if you are applying an AC signal, in the output you are having the phase shift. We will get the output as phase shift. And as you studied already, what is in phase and what is out of phase? If the input output are in the same direction, that is nothing but in phase. If the input output are in the opposite direction, that is nothing but out of phase. It may be current or voltage. It means if you use the single R and C circuit, they will maximum can generate the 0 to 90 degree phase. We get the phase angle, we can say phase angle. The phase angle, that is nothing but can generate 0 to 90 degree maximum. And as usual, you are already studied it for basics. The phase angle tan pi equal to xc by r. Because you are using a capacitor, that is nothing but capacitor reactance and a resistance. The tan pi is equal to xc by r, or can say about pi equal to the phase angle pi is equal to tan inverse of xc by r, or you can write also pi equal to 1 divided by 2 pi fc into r. This is the formula for how to get the phase shift or how to find the phase angle. Especially we want in the RC oscillator, as usual, how you are studied in the LC oscillator, the amplifier will give the 180 degree phase shift, another 180 is given by your tank circle. Here also your op amp in the inverting amplifier, they give the 180 degree phase shift. But if you want another 180, that another 180 is given by the phase shift network. The another 180 is given by the phase shift network or phase shift feedback network. And I just said, if we use only one R and C combination, maximum we may get the 90 degree phase shift. And that also actually, how will get the 90 degree phase shift? Means if we take R is equal to 0, if we take R is equal to 0, then only you will get the phase angle is 90 degree. Or you can say your output voltage leads the input voltage. The output voltage is leading with the input voltage. When you take R is equal to 0, and especially if you take R equal to 0, it is not practically possible. It is not practically possible to take the R is 0. If you take R equal to 0, then where will measure the output? Then where will measure the output? And also the gain also reduces. The gain also reduces. It means if you take R equal to 0, we may get phase angle 90 degree, but it is practically not possible. It is practically not possible to get the resistance value 0. If we get the resistance value 0, then where will measure the output voltage? Because the gain also reduces. And if we take R equal to infinity, then we may get pi is equal to 360 degree or 0 degree. It means the phase angle that depends upon the value of currents. The phase angle that depends upon the value of capacitor resistance. And here it is also not possible to take infinity R value. That's why we take, actually we want 180 degree phase shift. If we take the single R and C, maximum we may get 90 degree. It means it is not possible to take the single R and C combination. And if you take another one combination of R and C combination, you take another one combination R and C. You take another one combination R and C. Here it may give 90 degree. It may give 90 degree. But still it is not, you are not using two RC networks, because I said it is maximum 90 degree, not exactly 90 degree. You are not getting exactly 90 degree. Or if you take 290, you may get the phase angle 180 degree, but you are having the gain is not stable. Your gain is not stable, that's why you are not using the two R and C combinations. You are not using two RC networks because gain is not stable. And also, as I said, it is not, you are maximum saying 90 degree, it is not giving the exactly 90 degree. If you take the one R and C network, or you take two R and C network, it is not giving exactly 90 degree. It may be near to the 180 degree. That's why you are not using two RC networks. But you will prefer the three RC networks, especially you are using three RC networks. And here each will give, this is C, R, C, R, C, R. But each will give 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree. And in the output you may get V not equal to 180 degree. It means it is in every oscillator will prefer the three RC networks, because each RC network will give the phase shift of 60, 60, 60. And actually we want 180 degree. We want 180 degree phase shift. But each R and C section 60, 60, 60, and they will give the total 180 degree. It is very simple and it is very possible. And you take the, like that, you take R and C value, you will maximum will get the 60 degree phase shift. It is possible, practically it is possible. That's why in your phase oscillator we are using 3 RC sections. Each RC section will do 60-degree phase shift. That depends on the R and C value. And here important thing, the R1 equal to R2 equal to R3 equal to R, and C1 equal to C2 equal to C3 equal to C. If the R and C values are same, at only one particular value of R and C we may get 60 degree, 60 degree. Not for all values of R and C. Only one particular value of R and C we may get 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, and totally having the 180 degree phase shift. It means why you are using only one single RC network, because it may give 90 degree, but thing is that we want R equal to 0. Practically it is not possible to make it R equal to 0, and also if you take two R and C network, we may get 180 degree, but that also gain is not stable. The gain is not stable, and also you are not getting exact 180, we may near to 180. That's why we prefer the 3 RC section, because here each RC section will be 60, 60, 60, and totally arriving at 180 degree. This is the, in every oscillator we prefer 3 RC networks, because it will exactly it will give the 60, 60, 60, and we want 60 into 3 180 degree. That is can use in your phase oscillator. Now we will go for the, this is the basic about the basic knowledge about to understand the phase shift oscillator. Now we will go for the diagram of our phase shift oscillator. Phase shift oscillator. I just said we are using an operation amplifier, and especially we are using op-amp is used as an inverting amplifier. Go for the diagram here. And as usual you are using an inverting amplifier, and if you are using inverting amplifier means it will give the 180 degree phase shift. As we studied in detail about the inverting amplifier. In inverting amplifier, the input and output are 180 degree out of phase. Here in the feedback part, you are considering that you are using 3 RLC combination. You are using the 3 RLC combination. It is having the 3 RC network. And here you can use an resistor. Here also can use an resistor. Here also can use an resistor. And here these 3 resistors are connected to the ground. And here we are using make it non-inverting terminal grounded. Non-inverting terminal is grounded. And here we are using as usual, this is your output. And this may be positive VCC. This is your negative VE. And here we are using resistance. This is given to the feedback. This is nothing but applying to the feedback. This means your RF, and this means your RF. And here the thing is that, and here you can write about R1, C1, R2, C2, R2, and how it works. How it works. Here first you have to draw the diagram, and especially as I said, you are using 3 R and C combination. R1, C1, R2, C2 and all this. We are using 3 RC networks because we want 180 degree phase shift. As I said, if you take only single one R and C network, they give only maximum 90. But you want 180 degree, that's why we prefer the 3 RC networks. Each will give 60, 60, 60. The condition is that R1 only for one particular value of R1 equal to R2 equal to R3 equal to R, C1 equal to C2 equal to C3 equal to C. Only this condition we may get each of your R and C network will give the 60, 60, 60, total having the 180 degree. Now how it works? Whenever we make it switch on the circuit, then what happens? As usual, the noise voltage, because as I said, noise voltage will be acts for the input for oscillators. Yesterday I said the noise voltage acts for the input for the your oscillator. And here, as you on the switch on the circuit, the noise voltage that is having some having the sinusoidal voltage. The noise voltage is nothing but it is a sinusoidal voltage, it is a sinusoidal frequency. And that noise voltage acts for the your input for the op amp. Whenever you switch on the circuit, what happens? The noise voltage acts as the input for the your operation amplifier. And because of you are applying the noise voltage as input, the operation amplifier amplify the noise voltage. Op amp will amplify the noise voltage. And as usual, because you are using an inverting amplifier, the inverting amplifier they give the output 180 degree phase shift. They give the 180 degree output phase shift. It means you can write here the op amp will give the 180 degree phase shift. Another 180 will get to the RC network. RC network. They give the another 180. Total you are having the 360 degree or 0 degree. That is something but positive feedback. That is something but your positive feedback. It means whenever you switch on the circuit, what happens? The noise voltage acts for the input for the op amp, and that noise voltage will be amplified by the op amp, and in the output you are having the noise voltage, and that noise voltage will be 180 degree out of phase, and this noise voltage will given to the your phase shift network, or this noise voltage will drive the phase shift network. The noise voltage, because this output acts for the input purpose. The output of amplifier will be input for the your phase shift circuit. Or I said the output voltage will drive the your feedback circuit, or that will drive your RC network. And as usual, at a particular frequency, at a particular value of R and C, each R and C will give the 180 degree phase shift. Each R and C will give the 180 degree phase shift. It means, and also as I said, this output of this RC network is given back to the as an input for the your operation amplifier. That is something what you are using in positive feedback. It means, as I said, your op amp will give the 180 degree phase shift. Another 180 is given by each R and C combined 60, 60, 60, and will give the 180 degree, and total you are having the 360 degree. That is nothing but your positive feedback, and we will get the oscillations. And as you know, whenever you are having the positive feedback, they will give the oscillations. Once again repeat, whenever you switch on the circuit, then what happens? You are having the noise voltage. The noise voltage is but it is a sinusoidal signal. It has some frequency. This noise voltage acts for the input for the your op amp. That noise voltage will be amplified, and amplified output will get from the op amp, and that amplified output is having the 180 degree phase shift, because you are applying the inverting amplifier. amplifier. As you know, the inverting amplifier will give the 180 degree out of phase. That 180 degree out of phase output will drive the your RC network. And at a particular value of R and C, what you will get? Each R and C will give the 60-60 phase shift only at a particular value of R and C, and only at a particular frequency. Only at a particular frequency, each R and C will give the 180 degree phase shift. Not for all frequencies. Only one frequency will get the R and C, because you are taking R and C. All C values are same, or all R values are same. If you want to change the frequency, or to change the capacitor value. If you want to change another frequency, you can change the capacitor, you can change the resistance value. Right? It means at a particular frequency, only each R and C will give the 180 degree phase shift. It means the each R and C will give 180 degree. Your phase shift network will give 180 degree phase shift, and your op-amp will give another 180 phase shift, and totally you are having the 360 degree phase shift. That is nothing but positive feedback. In simple way, don't confuse, because whenever you on the circuit, the noise voltage acts as the input for the operation amplifier, and that noise voltage will amplify, and you will get the output. We are having the 180 degree out of phase of output. That output will drive your feedback network, and it will drive your RC network. And at a particular frequency and at a particular value of R and C, each R and C RC will give 60-60-60, and total is having the 180 degree given by the RC phase shift network. Another 180 is given by your inverting amplifier. Total is having the 360 degree phase shift or 0 degree phase shift. That is nothing but positive feedback. And if you want A beta equal to 1, another important condition, A beta equal to 1. And for to satisfy the A beta equal to 1, we want yes, we want A is equal to 29, and beta equal to the feedback factor is equal to 1 by 29. And the frequency oscillations will get frequency oscillation. F is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi square root of root 6 into R and C, or it is equal to the 0.065 by R and C. This is the resonant frequency. For this frequency, we are having the 2 pi. Right here, so we are confusing this. F is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi RC square root of root 6. This is nothing but the frequency of oscillations, or it is also called as oscillating frequency. And if you want A beta equal to nothing but A is equal to 29, and beta is equal to 29, and as usual A is equal to yes, AB, the voltage here is equal to minus RF by R. Already you know the formula of here. And it means in simple way of understanding about phase shift oscillator, very simple. And as I said, you are using op-amp, because op-amp will give the 180 degree phase shift. Another 180 phase shift given by your R and C network, and total you are having the 180 given by op-amp, 180 given by RC network. Total you are having the 360 degree phase shift or 0 degree phase shift. That is a simple positive feedback. And if you want A beta equal to 1, another one Barkhausen criteria, A is equal to 29 and B is equal to 1 by 29, and only at a particular frequency, only your R and C will give the 60, not for all the frequency, only at a particular frequency, and only at a particular value R and C will get the, each RC will give the 180, each RC will give the 60, and total error in the 180, and this will give 180, error in the 360 degree phase shift, or having the positive feedback. This is about in simple way of understanding about the phase shift oscillator. The important thing is about how we will get the phase shift. If we consider only single R and C, it will give the maximum 0 to 90 degree phase shift. But we want 180 degree phase shift. That's why we are using three RC networks, each will be 60, 60, 60, and total you are a 180 degree phase shift. 180 is given by your op amp, and totally you are in phase 60 degree. That is nothing but positive feedback. And also we want A beta equal to 1. That is A is equal to 29, or you can write here A equal to 29, or we want beta equal to 1 by 29. This is about the in simple way of your phase oscillator. The here important thing, as compared having the more frequency stability, and also it is very cheap because you are using only R and C, and it is also called you can easily change the frequency. That is by changing R and C values. This is about the importance about phase oscillator. Now we will go for another one important oscillator, that is about Wien bridge oscillator. That is about Wien bridge oscillator. We will go for another oscillator. That is something what your Wien bridge oscillator. We will go for another one type of oscillator. That is something what your Wien bridge oscillator. Wien bridge. Wien bridge oscillator. Here is Wien bridge oscillator. That is working on the principle of lead lag network. Lead lag network. This is important. As I said already, in your phase shift oscillator, they require the 180 degree phase shift. That's why we are using 3 RC network. They will give each will give 60, 60, and total here 180, another 180 given by your op amp. But here it is some different as compared to your phase shift oscillator. Your Wien bridge oscillator that is working on the principle of lead lag network. Your Wien bridge oscillator that is working on the principle of lead lag network. You are not giving importance to the phase shift. You are not, because here actually the phase shift is 0 here. Here the phase shift is 0. You are not using the phase shift concept here, but you are using the lead lag network. And what is lead lag network? What is called lead lag network? You see here, this is actually it contains an capacitor and a resistor in series, and also it is having a resistor and a capacitor in parallel. This is nothing but your lead lag network. Here having the here apply the input. Actually here it is C1, R1, R2 and C2. Look here, what is called lead lag network. What is called lead lag network? It contains an C1, R1 they are in series, and also R2 and C2 they are in parallel. Actually it is having it contains an series resonance and a parallel resonance. R1 and C1 they are in series. That's what is called series resonance circuit. It is called series resonance circuit. Also R2 and C2 they are in parallel. That is called parallel resonance circuit. If the C1 and R1 they are connected in series, and if C2 and R2 they are connected in parallel, the total circuit and network is nothing but the lead lag network. The lead lag network consists of R1 and C1 they are in series, and R2 and C2 they are in the parallel. And if you apply the varying signal, or if you apply the varying voltage at the input, then what happens? Actually, at low frequency, what happens? At low frequency, your capacitor acts as an open circuit because of you are having more effective resistance. At low frequency, your capacitor acts as open circuit because you are having the X is very more. For low frequency, you are having the more capacitor reactors. It means at low frequency, your capacitor, the C1 acts as open circuit. That's why the output is 0. At low frequency, your capacitor acts as open circuit, you are not getting an output. But at high frequency, then what happens? Your capacitor acts as a short circuit. Once again, you are having the output is 0. But only in between low and high, we are having the output voltage. Only in between low and high, we are having the output voltage. At low frequency, the output is 0 because of your capacitor acts as open circuit. But at high frequency, your C2 that acts as short circuit, and that's why your output is 0. But in between low and high, you are having the output voltage. It means actually, some book they are given about your total, the circuit acts as a band pass filter. The total circuit acts as a band pass filter. As you know, the band pass filter are the, but it allows only some band of frequency, not low and not high, only in the some particular frequency. That in some book they are given about it acts as a band pass filter. Some book they are given this acts as low pass filter, this acts high pass filter. But the thing is that it's not allowing low frequency, it is not high frequency. Only in between the low and high, we are having the maximum, or we are having the output voltage. This is about in brief about lead lag network. And another important thing, at low frequency, your phase angle is positive. That's why it is leading. It is called leading. The output and input voltages are leading. Circuit is leading, acts as a leading. And if the high frequency, what happens? Your phase angle is negative. The phase angle is negative. Then it acts as a lag network, lead lag network. It acts as a network or circuit, lead circuit. It acts as a lag network or circuit. It means at low frequency, your phase angle is positive. It acts as a lead network. It means voltage and output to input voltage are in the leading. And for high frequency, the phase angle negative, you are having the lagging network. As you know, leading nothing but leading and lagging. One leading nothing but one ahead to another, and lagging nothing but one behind to another. That is the meaning of leading and lagging. And for low frequency, the phase angle positive, your circuit acts as a leading network. And for high frequency, phase angle negative, your network acts as a lagging network. This is about the principle behind the Wien bridge oscillator. Actually, Wien bridge oscillator, it is working on the principle of lead lag network. And also I said, some book they are given about you are using a series and parallel resonance circuit. You are using a series and parallel resonance circuit. And now we look for the actual circuit diagram of your. Once again, you are using an op-amp, but here you are using an op-amp is used as a non-inverting amplifier. Your op-amp is used as a non-inverting amplifier. Your op-amp is used as a non-inverting amplifier. And here we will draw once again the diagram. here you are using an it is so interesting here is that in Wien-Bridge oscillator you are considering both. Means you are using inverting terminal as well as you are using the non-inverting terminal. As in your RC phase oscillator or in your phase oscillator, you are only considering the inverting amplifier. But here in your Wien-Bridge oscillator, you are using positive and negative feedback. I can say in Wien-Bridge oscillator, you are using both the feedbacks. You are using positive as well as negative feedback. And yes, you are applying the input or you are connecting the here you are connecting to the and here you can connect an register. It is having an bridge circuit. It looks like a bridge. As you know, you have studied in the physics Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge. Here you are studying about the Wien bridge. This is your R1, C1, and R2, C2. This may be your R4. R3 and you are using as usual is your output. You are using an positive VCC, negative VE. Here as I said here and you are considering here about the non-inverting amplifier. You are applying the feedback to the non-inverting terminal. Why you are using non-inverting terminal? Because in Wien-Bridge oscillator you are not getting any phase shift. You are not getting any phase shift because you are using non-inverting terminal. As you know, in non-inverting terminal the input or output are in the same phase. Or you are having the 0 degree. You are having the 0 degree phase shift. 0 degree phase shift. You are not having any phase. You are not using any concept of phase shift. We use the 0 degree phase shift. And as usual, how it works. As I said already, actually this your bridge circuit or your bridge circuit, as I said, your Wien-Bridge circuit. It is having 4 arms because as you know, in your this may be. Take another one here, where I can register and a capacitor, and here it is having like that and 4 arms. It is having the 4 arms. It also this is actually what network. It is having R1, C1, R2, C2, R3, and R4. It is having 4 arms. Or it is having the 4 arms. One arm nothing R1 C1 act as one arm, and R2 C2 they are acts another arm, and R3 and R4. R3 acts one of the arm, and R4 acts another arm. Because we are having in bridge network having the 4 arms. Bridge network having the 4 arms. As you have studied in your physics about the there you have studied about the bridge, and now you are in your electronics. We are studying about the Wien-Bridge, and that Wien-Bridge you are having the 4 arms. One is R1 C1 and R2 C2 and R3 and R4. They are also accessed another 4 arms. This is about the having the Wien-Bridge network. and in your how it works. How it works is nothing but, and as I said here, as you switch on the circuit, then what happens again? The noise voltage acts for the input for the your non-inverting amplifier. And as I said, noise voltage having the different frequencies. The noise voltage having the different frequencies. Actually, this were feedback at all, or your bridge circuit. They only it acts as a frequency selected circuit. Your R1 C1, R2 C2, that acts as a frequency selective circuit. Once again, repeat. Whenever you switch on the power supply, the noise voltage acts for the input for the non-inverting terminal, but noise voltage having the different frequencies. The noise voltage having the different frequencies, and that noise voltage will be amplified. And actually, this you are having the amplified output across op amp, but here you are having the different frequencies of noise voltage, and this your bridge network, it acts as a frequency selective circuit. Your bridge network, it acts as a frequency selective circuit. As I said, it acts as a band pass filter, it acts as a resonant circuit. Only it allows only one particular frequency. It will reject remaining frequencies. Only at a particular frequency it allows. The remaining all frequency will be rejected by this bridge circuit. It means whenever you switch on the power supply, you are having the noise voltage, and that noise voltage acts for the input for the non-inverting terminal, and noise voltage having the different frequencies. That different frequency will amplified, and amplified output you are getting from the op amp. In this we are having different frequency output. In the different frequency output, your feed your bridge network only select one particular frequency. The remaining all frequency rejected by the your bridge circuit. Right? And what frequency it will select? What frequency it will select? Only whenever bridge is balanced. Whenever the bridge, you can say bridge is balanced. Whenever the bridge is balanced, it only select one particular frequency. It will reject all the frequency. And when the bridge balance, then the positive feedback is equal to negative feedback. The positive feedback is equal to negative feedback, and also whenever bridge is balanced, we are having the 0 degree phase shift, 0 degree phase shift, or your phase angle will be 0. Whenever the bridge is balanced, we are having the phase angle 0. When the bridge balanced, when positive feedback is equal to negative feedback. Because here this is the output voltage. This output voltage given to the non-inverting terminal. Also, this output voltage given to the inverting terminal. If you apply the sum of the output voltage given to the non-inverting terminal, this will give the positive feedback. The non-inverting terminal will give the positive feedback. And what is the use of positive feedback? The positive feedback it will give the oscillation, it will generate oscillations. And what is the use of negative feedback? What is the use of negative feedback? The negative feedback will eliminate the distortion. They will reduce the distortion. They will reduce the amplitude distortions. It means whenever the positive feedback is balanced to the negative feedback, in that time the bridge is balanced and we will get the 0 degree phase shift. Our phase angle is 0, and in that condition we may get the frequency, the resonant frequency is equal to the your oscillating frequency. The resonant frequency is equal to the your the resonant frequency is equal to the oscillatory frequency. That is nothing but f is equal to 1 divided by 2 by RC. Or only here also condition is that R1 equal to R2 equal to R, C1 equal to C2 equal to C. Only in this condition your bridge is balanced and F is equal to pi RC. And actually, as I said here, if you want to go further, another important thing about A beta equal to 1, that is Bar-Poisson criterion. We may get E beta equal to 1. And for that, we want A is equal to, because you are considering the non-inverting terminal. You are considering the non-inverting terminal, that becomes 1 plus R by R. This is the gain for your feedback network. And now we can go for, if we consider the actually you are having A is equal to 3 and beta equal to 1 by 3. How will you get A equal to 3? For that you can take here R3 by R4 equal to is R1 by R2 plus C2 by C1. And if you consider here, as I said, R1, R2 equal to R and C1 should equal to C, you can get R3 and R4. Then R3 by R4 equal to 1 plus 1. Because this R1, R2, C1 they are same, we may get this is equal to 2. And if you want R3 by R4, A is equal to, because 1 plus, yes, this is your, can write here R3, can write here R4. That becomes R3 by R4. That becomes A is equal to 1 plus 2. That is nothing but A is equal to 3. And if you A is equal to 3, nothing but beta equal to 1 by 3. And important thing is about here you can satisfy the Bar-Poisson criterion, that is A beta equal to 1. And to find this A, nothing but gain, that is 1 plus R by R1. And this here we want R3 by R4, that is R3 by R4, that equal to, because you are using R1 and R2, C1 and C2. If they are R1, R2, and C1, so they are equal, you may get 1 plus 1, that is 2. And here, if you consider R3 by R4 equal to 2, and 2 plus 1, 3, A is equal to 3, and beta is equal to 1 by 3. This is about the one condition, that is about your Bar-Poisson criterion, that is A beta equal to 1. And as I said here, another important thing is about whenever the bridge balance, the thing is that if the bridge is balanced, the phase angle is 0 degree and then positive feedback equal to negative feedback. And also we are having in this condition only F is equal to 1 by only in this condition which balance will get the you are having the sustained oscillation. Only for the particular frequency you are having the sustained oscillation. It means once again repeat, very simple. Whenever you switch on the power supply, the noise voltage acts for the input for the non-inverting terminal, and noise voltage have different frequencies. That will different frequency will amplified output will get from the op-amp output, and because we are having different frequencies will be amplified, your bridge circuit only they select only particular frequency, because your bridge circuit acts as a frequency selective circuit. Your bridge circuit or bridge network acts as a frequency selective circuit. frequency, it will allow, remaining frequency will be rejected. And in that particular frequency, you are having the 0 degree phase shift, or in that if the bridge is balanced, you will get the sustained oscillation. And whenever bridge is balanced, nothing but, as I said here, you are having the output of the op amp that is given to the, you are using the two paths. One path they are given to the, you are given to the non-inverting terminal, and another output is given to the inverting terminal. The output, if you are given to the non-inverting terminal, that acts as a positive feedback. The output that is given to the inverting terminal, that acts as negative feedback. It means whenever the positive feedback will balance with negative feedback, that is nothing but the balancing condition of the bridge. In that condition, you will have the sustained oscillation. You are having the resonant, that is nothing but the resonant frequency, or that is nothing but the frequency oscillation, that is nothing but 1 by 2 pi RC. And as I said, the negative feedback will reduce the distortions, and positive feedback will give the oscillation. The positive feedback will give the oscillations. It means only in bridge in your beam bridge oscillator you are using the positive and negative feedback. As I said, and when you are using op amp, if you use your amplifier, it is not possible to give the positive and negative feedback simultaneously. But in beam bridge oscillator, you are giving positive and negative feedback simultaneously. The thing is that important thing in this beam bridge oscillator, only at a particular frequency your bridge will be balanced. At what frequency that bridge will be balanced? Nothing but the important thing, in that frequency the phase angle will be 0. And as I said already, in which frequency phase angle is 0, that frequency is nothing but resonant frequency. In the resonant frequency you are having the maximum output voltage. As I said, for low frequency output voltage is 0, for high frequency low output voltage is 0. At what frequency we are having the maximum output voltage? That is nothing but the resonant frequency. In that resonant frequency we are having the maximum output voltage, and that frequency only we are having the sustained oscillation. This is about your beam bridge oscillator, and it is so important as compared to your phase shift oscillator, because here the important in phase shift oscillator you are having the drawback is about you are having the very low gain. Why you are having very low gain? Because feedback pattern is very small. But here we can easily change the frequency of oscillation by changing only R and C. Only changing the R and C values will get the, and also you are having the more frequency stability. You are having the more frequency stability as compared to your phase shift oscillator. This is, and also you are not using any phase shift concept here. You are only using the technique of lead lag network. And in the next class you go for the another important oscillator, that is about crystal oscillator. Thank you.